there is a sound that is being heard. Then the uh, uh, sense of cold is being felt by the body. See, all these are ways, where you try to remove that I out of it. So in fact, like in our some sadhus, some mahatmas, they have made this a practice in all their writing also. They will not say I. Hmm? So why it is delusion? Tattvavittu Mahabhavo Gunakarma Vibhagayo. The one who really understands this, how things work in the world, that person who has true insight into the nature of gunas. What does he see? He is able to see this Gunakarma Vibhaga, the division between gunas and action, meaning that all actions are driven by gunas. He is able to see that. Who is this Tattvavit? He is the knower of reality. He sees the division of gunas as the three attributes and their functions, how they do. How does he use guna? Gunaha. In the senses, all the senses perceiving. My ears are listening, my eyes are seeing, my nose is smelling. See, all this is happening by gunas. The qualities of gunas make us do all this: hear, smell, taste, touch, and all that. And Guneshu, the objects that is perceived is also because of gunas. Like I see something, I see the sky, I see all of you. See, all this is also due to the gunas, the attributes. Guna Guneshu Vartantu. So the gunas in my body, mind, and senses, and the gunas in the outer world, when they interact. hmm, so the real things that is happening is that my gunas within this body, even my gunas is wrong. The gunas in the body and the gunas outside, when they interact, that interaction is what causes everything to happen. Huh? So now let us try to understand this. This is a very key thing to, this knowledge is a very important knowledge. When we understand that all actions in the world is happening based on certain gunas and certain propensity, what happens? There is no I involved. There is nothing that is personal in that sense. So the idea that we have is that I am seeing this, I am doing this, right? So this is making everything personal. And when there is personal, what happens? That emotions are coming, that actions are coming, and that also creates certain bondage in us. So that sense of doership is comes with that in that experiencership. So they get entangled with each other. When there is no doership, so this is what the great people are. The real people who are realized. They have they either have very sattvic doership or they have absolutely no sense of doership. Sattvic doership is that okay, I'm doing this for my guru or I'm doing this for the world. So this is sattvic doership. It is also okay in the initial stages, but later stage even that has to be given up. That even that sense that I am doing anything, that has to be given up. Now there are very practical psychological benefits of this. See, our language, our especially English, when we use, we always have the subject and object interaction. Hmm? That with the way we say things, if you say that I went to my friend's house and I ate salad, or I enjoyed a beautiful sunset. See, in all this, there is an I, that sense of I am doing or I am experiencing. So, this sense, there's a constant sense of what limits me to this body and mind. My identification is limited because when I use this I, of course, in normal language, we use this. But if we are internally also thinking like that, see, the language sometimes influences our thinking. So the way we use language will also influence our thinking. So you can try this experiment sometime, like I used to before teach some people to try this. Like when you are having some strong emotions or you're having some strong kind of feelings, instead of saying, I am angry, huh, you try saying that anger has come or anger has risen. So what does happen? That sense of I in that, will fall away. You will be able to observe it in a impartial way. Hmm? Or when you say that I am sad, like you feel that, oh, I'm not feeling well, or even physically, when you say I'm not feeling well, if you keep holding on to that thought, I'm not feeling well, soon you will mentally also feel lethargic and you'll mentally feel down. So instead, if you see, look at it like, today my body is not well, or that body has some problems. So this is what is happening is the attributes of the body. There are the gunas in the body. You are watching the action of the gunas in the body happening in relation to the world outside. So this is what he says, guna guneshu vartanta. Huh? The gunas in me, the attributes in me, the energies in me, you can say. Sometimes nowadays, New Age, they use all this, energies, the energies in me, and there's energies outward. So this is also a way to understand. The energies outside is that Prakriti. Huh? The three energies we describe there, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. The Prakriti has these three energies. And there is three energies in my body and mind. So this is what that ahankara vimod he says. The person deluded by the notion that I am doing this, what happens? He thinks that, oh, I am not feeling well today, or I am doing this today. So that is what has happened. Ahankara, that ahankara means ego. Where does that, how has that ego come? When that consciousness identifies and limits to this body, upadhi. When the I, as a pure consciousness, limits itself to the body, then what happens? That movement of energy, that movement of gunas in the body, is taken to be me. So, see, this is where, the whole experience of our life is happening. Everything we say, I experience this, I experience that, I did this, I did that. How is all that? It is based on this body, mind, intellect, senses. These things, we invest it with that me and mine. So when that all the senses, everything gets invested with that, this body becomes separate from the gunas outside. Huh? So the set of gunas in the body and the set of gunas. So the prakriti in the body, prakriti outside, or the nature or energy in the body and the nature and outside. See, these become like two different entities, And so what we see when these are two entities, so there is one small entity in a bigger entity, and these are interacting. And that is the whole spectrum of our experiences, uh, broadly divided as good and bad, happy, sad, and all that. But there's a whole range of things that keeps happening. So this even 10 minutes every day, we should sit and practice, where we are sitting, we are saying, we hear some sound. Then at that point, you should actually see, instead of seeing, thinking that I am hearing this sound is being heard. There is a sound that is being heard. Then the uh, sense of cold is being felt by the body. See, all these are ways, where you try to remove that I out of it. So in fact, like in our some sadhus, some mahatmas, they have made this a practice in all their writing also. They will not say I, like they will use, this sadhu went with that sadhu. You see the letters of like this Tapon Maharaj, Swami Ram Tirtha, and all that. They will, at the most, they will say this Swami or this person. he went. So the idea with that is, it's, of course, if you talk like that in the world, people will not understand. So you have to use that. But even when you use your name, you can have this feeling that this person, this body, or this mind, even see, when we feel sometimes too restless, you, instead of saying that I am restless or I am agitated, that sense of restlessness is being felt, or the sense of agitation is has come. And when it goes, you can acknowledge, the sense of restlessness has now gone. See, that brings us to that sense of being this pure observer. And in fact, the whole of lot of practices given in the Vedantic tradition is based on this. What is this based on? This is based on the thing that there is this pure sakshiness, awareness. That sakshi, that witness, is not touched by that experience. But because that witness gets identified with that body and mind, it starts claiming those experiences. So at the first stage, there is no harm. You don't see much harm. When we say that, okay, I woke up and I started feeling good, I had a coffee and I'm now having my class. So all this, initially it seems okay. But soon what happens is, every time we imprint that into the psyche, into the consciousness, then that is where the karmic bondage also comes. See, the whole thing of karma, it is not like all the karmas have to be purified from the Vedantic tradition. Because if you say that I have done 1,000 bad actions, then I should do 1,000 good actions to overcome and become free. But that will never happen, because the moment you do 1,000 good actions, then that one more action somewhere will come. Hmm? So that balance will always keep going up and down. The way of freedom is that a non-identification with the doership. So non-identification with doership and experiencership. This is the whole goal of these teachings, So in fact, all I had mentioned this, whether you take Bhakti Marga, Jnana Marga, Karma Yoga, or the Dhyana, all of these are working towards eradication of ego, or awakening with getting out of avidya into the true realization of ourself. So the point here is, the Lord is giving us the the truth. What is that truth? The truth is that this whole sphere of world has Prakriti. So when we say Prakriti, what does it include? It includes my body, it includes mind, it includes the senses, it includes the intellect. Huh? And what else it includes in the world outside Prakriti? Five elements and the subtle aspect of them, tanmatras. This is the world actually. So what is happening here in this world? How is it functioning? It is functioning based on the three gunas. So the world functions based on three gunas, and our body also functions based on three gunas. So this is a beautiful phrase, he's using. What he's saying is, guna guneshu vartante. The gunas in my body, the three gunas in my body are interacting with these three gunas in the world, and this is the experience of life. What we say as the experience of life is the interaction of the three attributes in my body and mind with the three attributes in nature. Huh? So this ability, this thing of what we say, guna guneshu vartante, vartante, iti matvana sajjate. When we realize this, what happens? There is even though initially we intellectually realize this, there is an immediate sense of freedom, that I, as this set of this body and mind, am not bound. It is that these things are happening in the body and mind, and they are interacting with the thing. The moment I say I am doing this, or I am invested in this, then the bondage is coming. So the immediate, a quick way or a instant practice that will free us is complete non-identification with this transaction, the transaction of my body and mind with the world. Hmm? If we can disinvest our I-ness in this, and hold on to that, that in a way is what there is liberation from the Vedantic, what we call even as Jivan Mukti, that right, or Videha Mukti, is that complete disidentification of all actions and how we can start right with our day-to-day life and practices. Our how we label things in our life. When we start thinking, I did this, I did that, I enjoyed this, I enjoyed that. So all the things that are included with karta, bhokta, everything, that we have to reverse it and say, this is happening, this is happening, this is being enjoyed by the body, or this is being suffered by the body. So when we are able to constantly look from that perspective, then na sajjate, he says, that attachment is is being severed, meaning there is no longer that attachment. And this is what has happened to consciousness. The pure consciousness got attached with all the actions that the body and mind is doing, and it claims it to be its own. Huh? So, and this claiming that this is I am doing it, or this is happening to me, is what the Lord is mentioning here. Ahankara vimud atma kartaham iti manyate. The one who is deluded with this notion thinks that I am the doer. And from there, what happens? The moment you are the doer, then all the actions you did in the past will tag on to you. That karmic bondage, the karmic baggage will tag on to you because you are claiming I'm doing this. So that means you also did everything in the past. So you have come to the relative sphere of karma, where your past actions will tag along with you. But the moment you disidentify all those past actions, baggage will also drop. So this is the heart of the teachings, where he is actually trying to mention this point. The one point here Shankaracharya makes, karya karana sanghata tatma pratyaya ahankara tena vividam nanavidam muda atma antakaranam yasya sa ayam karya karana dharma. So the person ahankara vimudatma, one who is deluded, who thinks that I am the doer, he says that person has a self-identification with the aggregate of body and organs, sense organs. See, this is a karya karana sangata, we say. Sangata means like a assembly. So, for example, a car is an assembly of wheel, body, steering wheel, engine, everything. Now he is saying our whole entity is an assembly of this body, sense organs, mind, intellect, and all that. So this assembly is just working on its own. The whatever sanskara, whatever it has, it is working on its own. So even that sanskaras that has come, that is operating at the level of intellect. That sanskara is causing us problem. But the biggest bondage is identification with that sanskaras also.